Happy Tuesday! Today I'm going to take you through my favorite year-end exercise so that you can wrap up your year. Hey there, it's Asia Ray here, and I'm super excited for the end of 2017. It's been a great year and I'm looking forward to the next year. But a lot of us tend to jump right into goal setting, and I want you to take a step back first. Because the end of the year is a natural time to take stock of what we've learned over the course of the year. And I think it's important to get really clear on that to set the most effective goals for the next year. So that's what we're going to do today on today's episode of Career Tips for Actors. I'm going to take you through 5 questions that I always ask that I think really set me up to make sure I make the most of what's happened this year. So the first question is to ask yourself, what were your accomplishments? Sometimes if we look back on a year and we're not exactly where we want to be at the end of it, it can be hard to think of what we actually accomplished, what our celebrations are and what our wins are. I, with my coaching clients, always encourage them each couple of weeks that we meet to think about what exactly they're celebrating. But all of us don't do that on a regular basis. So the first thing to do is take a step back and look at what you actually did do this year. Maybe it wasn't booking a big job, but you got clear on your finances, or you improved your relationship with a parent or a sibling, or you got a pet and really learned how to take care of something else in your life. So think about that in a holistic way. The second thing I'd like you to think about is, what were your biggest disappointments? We're not going to fool ourselves and pretend like nothing bad happened this year and that there wasn't anything that we wish could have gone differently. So in order for us to move past that, we really want to acknowledge that and take stock of what it was so that we can figure out how to avoid those disappointments in the coming year. So just take a moment. You don't need to dwell on it. You don't need to beat yourself up, but take a moment to list what your biggest disappointments were of this year. The third thing I'd like you to think about is what you learned. What did you learn this year? Now, this can be things that are life lessons that you've already incorporated and you've already started to implement and change, or they can be things that you have gathered based on what happened this year, but you haven't quite overcome and implemented. But these lessons are important. As we think about our accomplishments and our disappointments, oftentimes those can lead to things that we've learned. The fourth thing I'd like you to think about is, what are your limiting beliefs or habits? Take a moment to think about how you explain your disappointments, or how you kind of characterize yourself in a way that may not be the most positive. You might say, oh gosh, I'm always so nervous when I go into auditions. I'm a terrible auditioner. Or you might say, God, I can never get my finances together. Like I'm just terrible with money. These are beliefs that you have incorporated about yourself, but that aren't necessarily true. And I want you to be really clear on what those are as we go into next year. The fifth thing I want you to think about is, what is most important to you right now? There are lots of areas of our life, and we can't always focus on all of those areas at once. Sometimes our career is more important, or sometimes our family is more important, or sometimes we have to focus on our health. So I have a gift for you. I want you to take some time over the next week to sit down, give yourself some space, light a candle, put on some music, drink a glass of wine if you do that, and really take yourself through this year-end activity. And I have a tool for you that will make this a lot easier. And part of that tool is what I call the actor's wheel of life. So I want you to take a look at each area of this wheel of life, and that will help you get really clear on what's important to you as you go through this year-end activity, and will set you up for a magnificent goal setting session when we meet next week. So next week, we're going to talk about goal setting for 2018 in a way that's really going to set you up for a breakthrough. But this year-end activity is really important for you to do first. So you can grab this free download at actingresourceguru.com/year-end. Grab it now, fill it out, and I will see you next week for our year-end goal setting exercise. Thank you.